So here's a quick post that once again backs up that they always come back. They always come back when they want something. And in this situation here, this guy and his girl, they've been together 7 years. They were having some problems, so they decided to take a break, which in her mind meant free to do whatever she wanted, but in his mind, time out to work on things. And next thing you know, she's back crying for him to take her back. And oh yes, P.S., she's been hooking up with his best buddy of 20 years during their so-called break to figure things out. And now she's begging for a second chance and all that. And it never ceases to amaze me, the waterworks and the blame, because guess who's the one at fault? Not her, but the best friend that seduced her and took advantage of her. Titled, My Girlfriend Cheated on Me with My Best Friend and Wants Me Back. It says here, I discovered that my girl was carrying out an affair with my best friend of 20 years. My girl and I were having problems last year and decided to take an informal break while she took a job out of state. During this time, my friend and I were estranged because I noticed he was getting unusually close to my girl in the previous year. So notice right there in the first paragraph, they were having problems last year. Well, I'll tell you what the problems were. She was effing your best friend. Talk about a piece of crap, right? Bros before you all know, but nope. 20 years he's banging his girl? While I maintained some communication with my girl and saw her a few times over the next 6 months, it turns out she was texting my friend daily, seeing him and having sex with him, all behind my back. Basically, every weekend I wasn't with her, he was. What a piece of garbage. That guy is scum. Have nothing to do with him. But also, she's scum too. She knows this is your best bro of 20 years, but she has no problem. And meanwhile, you're waiting around in fix-it mode, being true and blue, you weren't hooking up with other women. This is her way of dealing with it. And what do you think caused all the problems in the relationship to begin with? Those two. All of this was discovered when my girlfriend decided to cut him off because he, listen to this, was apparently manipulative and emotionally did bad things to her, and she regretted it from the start. Well, that didn't stop her from having an affair with him all this time. So I don't want to hear this, oh, it's his fault because he was manipulative and emotionally doing this and regretted it from the start. She continued seeing him. But guess what? He no doubt was the bad boy, gave her the excitement. Meanwhile, she has this guy in layaway thinking they're working on things. You know the joke about the gallows and accountability? When this happened, my girl immediately told me what went down, and within the same day, I got a slew of text messages from my friend revealing the true extent of their affair. He said extremely S-word messages from my girl saying that he was the best she ever had, you're my soulmate, I love you dearly. Dates from these texts are even before we agreed to the break, basically an affair lasting 7 months or so. So while she's blaming the so-called friend and saying it's all his fault and blah, 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 the so-called friend is saying, look, here's evidence that this was going on long before your so-called the break to work on things. And listen to what she's saying here. Now, the friend's a piece of garbage, but guess what? The girl's lying through her teeth. She just wants to have this nice guy back. I'm completely crushed, but I love this girl with all my heart. Smack! Bro, I get that you're crushed, and I'm sorry this happened to you. But both these two are garbage, and they deserve each other. You cannot take her back. What you would love is what you thought who she is. But what you're seeing here is her real personality. You can't stay with or take a girl back like this that was effing your best friend. Are you kidding me? And putting all the blame on him? She'll just do it to you again. She's already lost respect for you. It's going to go to a whole new level. You take her back. We've been together for 7 years, have an apartment together, and I can't fathom losing all this with her. Dude, you can get another place to live. You can divvy up your belongings and move on. You can't stay with her. And I can't fathom losing all this with her. My girlfriend has begged for my forgiveness and told me she completely cut off contact with him. I've done the same and I've blocked him on socials. Well, you did that right. I have nothing to do with the guy ever again. Now you need to cut her off. He is dead to me. She has also agreed to get therapy and has shown extreme remorse for her actions, wants to be better for me so we can resolve our issues. Can something like this be saved where we can be healthy again in time? Smack! No, my friend, no. Now I get that you're relatively young and you're hurting and all that, and she's been your girlfriend, well, in title but not in behavior, since you were 18 years old. But you can't be with someone like this, dude. Do you really think she loves you to do this to you? You don't think she'll do it to you again? And I don't care how convincing she is with her tears and her story and her begging and pleading and all the other things she's promising you. No amount of therapy is going to change a deceitful person like this. You need to end it with her, find a new place to live, divvy up your stuff, and move on. And it's going to be hell. And be a roller coaster of emotions. But you can't be with her, someone that treats you like this. It says here, I've also received more messages that she has had a professional lingerie photo shoot behind my back and admitted to having fleeting feelings for another friend in our group, though no screenshot evidence was provided for these claims. Bro, come on. It's over, all right? Take your time, figure out a way to get past this and move on, but you cannot be with her. Otherwise, I promise you, I'm 46, almost twice your age. I've been around the block and done 2,600 stories in all 3 channels. This will happen again. And you'll be more heartbroken. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that takes a girl back and look like a fool. One day at a time, bro. Now some comments. One guy says, and by the way, these comments are very blunt. This guy says, grow a pair of balls and send her directly to the streets where she belongs. She has done something unforgettable, and this will get worse from now on. Believe me. Please trust your gut and work on yourself. This is the only option. She will do it again. Guaranteed. Another guy says, you're in an emotional fog, so I'll be blunt. No, this cannot be saved. She's playing you hard, and the affair would have continued behind your back if they didn't fall out. You're being played, and frankly, I'm worried about your lack of self-respect for and allowing such disloyalty, disrespect, and emotional hurt. This is a betrayal beyond words, and I know it's hard, nearly impossible, but save yourself now before it gets any worse and move on. All that's left here is hurt, but it will be hurt she continues to cause you or hurt of moving on and healing. Please wake the F up. Some people might say these people are harsh and mean. When it comes to guys, you have to be blunt. Because being there-thering them and all that ain't going to help. You got to get through their thick skulls. Another guy says, whatever you do, leave her. She's only told you because he was emotionally so-called abusing her and had no choice. He probably threatened to tell you frequently until he actually did. She does not love you, bro. Does what she did sound like the actions of someone who loves you? Grow some self-respect. It's all about actions, gentlemen, in anything in life, in all relationships. And her actions show exactly how important he is to her, which is not. And one more, again, more with the blunt comments. Grow some balls, dude. If you get back with this girl who effed your best friend for months, then you might as well just go to your nearest circus and apply for your clown license already. Going by this post, it seems like you've made up your mind already, so you will find out anyway. But I will tell you, this shit isn't going to get better. It's not. But the problem is he's so wrapped up in her and he's invested so much of his life in her and he can't imagine anything else. And he so wants to believe that some miracle, something. He wants to believe that she'll never do this again or whatever, or believe that it was all the other guy's fault. No, she's just as guilty. Now, the worst person in this story is the best friend, but she's not much better. And she knew exactly what she was doing. And I don't believe this nonsense that it's all his fault and he was manipulating me. No, she's just shifting the blame on him. She knew what she was doing. She's a big girl. She's 26 years old, for heaven's sake. So end it with her, move on. And if you don't, I'm sorry to say, brother, at that point then, anything that happens is your fault. Learn.